आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला।
From the Republic Media Network headquarters, it's time for Arnab Goswami on The Debate. Arnab Goswami on The Debate.
On the show tonight, sensational new twists come to the fore in the case of the murder of Raja Raghuvanshi. After going incommunicado for 17 days, the killer wife, Sonam Raghuvanshi, is now in custody. And at 9 o'clock this evening, the magical countdown as India begins to take a giant cosmic leap with Group Captain Subhangshu Shukla all set to create history as the nation waits with bated breath for the tricolour to fly high at the International Space Station. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to begin with a comment on the murder of Raja Raghuvanshi, who was killed by his wife, Sonam Raghuvanshi, just 11 days after their wedding. And the first comment I wish to make in this matter is that people should stop referring to it as the Meghalaya murder mystery. That is so wrong. Meghalaya, a beautiful state, a wonderful state with peaceful and kind and generous people. Meghalaya has nothing to do with the quote-unquote murder mystery. This is a murder which could have happened anywhere in Uttar Pradesh or in Delhi. Meghalaya has nothing to do with it. And I want to begin by saying this. And as someone who has spent a lot of time in Meghalaya and has been a student of St. Edmunds, Shillong, I feel so terrible. And as someone from the Northeast myself, at the stereotyping that's been going on over the last few days, linking Meghalaya to the murder mystery. It's so wrong, ladies and gentlemen. We owe an apology to the people of Meghalaya. The fact of the matter is, if there is any one question which emerges as a result of the most tragic and brutal killing of Raja Raghuvanshi by his wife, then we need to be clear about what that question is. That question is about brutalities against men. What is never spoken about, where men are seen to be only the perpetrators of violence in a relationship or in marriage, but can never be seen to be the victims. And if there is anything we need to consider here, it is the fact that this is an arranged marriage, which means that Sonam Raghuvanshi agreed to marry Raja Raghuvanshi. Nobody forced her into it. She was absolutely pretending to be happy on the day of the wedding. She chose to go into an arranged marriage with the intention of killing this man, of killing her husband, which just shows how cold-blooded her thinking has been. She made him wear jewelry, diamonds and gold worth over 10 lakh rupees when they left for their honeymoon. Now, who does that? Which means she intended to kill him and take away everything that he had from his corpse or from him before he died. She wanted to make money by marrying him and then by killing him. The fact that she was clear about wanting to kill the man she married 10 days back is evident from the fact that she never booked return tickets from Meghalaya, which means she knew that for the man she'd married a week earlier, it would be a one-way trip, that she would kill him. Ladies and gentlemen, the trek they planned to go on was planned in advance, and she had told her boyfriend/lover to bring 3 people to help kill Raja Raghuvanshi. She hired contract killers, she brought them over, and she got together with this man and his accomplices to kill her husband. Now, viewers, Republic has always taken the strongest line and always bill about crimes against women. But what about crimes against men? Have we become so woke and unrealistic in our approach that we do not see the trend that is emerging of late? Did we not see the trend where a 35-year-old Sonam Rajput, who had returned from London to simply surprise his wife, who was working hard for his family, was murdered in Meerut by his wife, Muskan Rastogi, and her lover, and then his body was put into a drum? Ladies and gentlemen, did we not see the story in Bihar where a woman in her early 20s hung and killed her 25-year-old husband because he was questioning her fondness for making social media reels? Yet we think that men can never be the victim. We feel that it is all overhype. A 25-year-old man in Uttar Pradesh, Oraiya, was killed by a contract killer recently hired by his wife and her lover within 15 days of his marriage. A Mathura court sentenced Poonam Kumari to life in prison for murdering her differently abled husband with the help of her 17-year-old lover. There is therefore a larger pattern. We know that violence against men is not the only pertaining issue. We know that Section 498 of the Indian Penal Code, what was IPC in the past, along with 85 and 86 of the BNS, is among the most abused laws in this country. Ladies and gentlemen, Section 498A cases have the lowest conviction rate of 12%, which means for 88% of the innocent people, their life just goes past after being treated badly and unfairly by women and their family members. Now, we don't want to talk about it because people think that taking a position for aggrieved men becomes anti-women, and that's the worst way of looking at it. It's a ridiculous and illiterate way of looking at it. We have to be equal. We have to be gender agnostic when it comes to crime and brutalities. But the problem is, in our country, there is one woke section which wants to believe that men are only the perpetrators of crime. There is another argument that these crimes have always happened against men in the past, but they are now being reported. Regardless of that, let us wake up to the reality that Sonam Raghuvanshi, like many other women in recent times, planned to kill her husband well before getting married. He was an innocent man. He did not deserve to die. This marriage was not a sham. This marriage was well planned by the killer wife to create a situation where she could monetize the marriage and walk away from it. We need to think about what's going on in our society. But more than that, we need to think about whether our laws and their application are fair to men. Let's debate.
29-year-old Raja Raghuvanshi, a businessman from Indore, tied the knot with 27-year-old Sonam Raghuvanshi on May 11th.
मैं हूँ दूल्हे की भाभी, मैं हूँ दूल्हे की मामी, मैं हूँ दूल्हे की मौसी और ये है दूल्हा, मैं हूँ दूल्हा.
The young man, looking excited in every frame, left for a dreamy honeymoon with his bride on 20th of May. Sonam chose the honeymoon destination.
लॉन्ग जाने की प्लानिंग भी सोनम ने ही करी थी।
सोनम ने करी थी, सोनम ने टिकट करवाई थी।
अच्छा, मतलब राजा से लोग नहीं जाना चाहते।
राजा ने यूँ बोला, सोनम ने बोला था कि घूमने चले, राजा ने बोला अभी नहीं जाएंगे अपन घूमने, बाद में जाएंगे। तो सोनम ने बोला मैंने टिकट करवा ली, अब देखते तुम क्या बोलते हो।
अच्छा,
तो राजा ने बोला मम्मी अब टिकट हो गई, अब मैं क्या करूँ। तो मैंने कहा चले जाओ बेटा, टिकट करवा ली उसने तो चले जाओ।
They remained in touch with their families for the first few days.
उतर आए? हाँ। मैंने क्या आ गए नीचे? कहाँ पे हो तुम? ऊपर पहाड़ पे कि नीचे?
आप जाके पहुंचा ऊपर में।
रात को नीचे रुके थे?
आओ।
कुछ खाने का मिला कि नहीं मिला?
केले खा लिया मैं।
क्या खा लिए?
अरे अभी केले खा रहा हूँ, अब बिहार पहुंचा हूँ। अब यहाँ से निकलूंगा।
On May 23rd, the couple went missing.
हाथ जोड़ के निवेदन है आपसे कि प्लीज किसी के बेटे और बहू को ढूंढवा दीजिए। हमारा पूरा परिवार सहमा हुआ है, डरा हुआ है। मेरा डॉक्टर मोहन यादव जी से बस एक ही निवेदन है कि मेरे भैया और भाभी को जल्द से जल्द ढूंढ दे।
What followed was a frantic search, leading to police finding Raja's decomposed body on June 2nd. But his new bride still missing.
यहाँ पे प्रॉब्लम क्या है ना कि ये डेड बॉडी ढूंढ रहे हैं काफ़ी समय से, जो कि राजा की डेड बॉडी 10 दिन में मिल चुकी है। इनने काफ़ी समय लगाया डेड बॉडी ढूंढने में भी, और अभी मुझे एक रिक्वेस्ट करना है यहाँ की गवर्नमेंट से और कि सीएम साहब से कि यहाँ पर जो ये डेड बॉडी ढूंढ रहे हैं सोनम रघुवंशी की, वो एक्चुअली मुझे ऐसा लगता है क्योंकि मैं सगा भाई हूँ, मुझे अभी फीलिंग्स आ रहा है कि वो जिंदा है और उसको जिंदा होने के हिसाब से ढूंढे।
And then a sensational twist. Early Monday morning, Sonam was found from a dhaba in Ghazipur of Uttar Pradesh and arrested for the murder of her husband.
Srimati Sonam Raghuvanshi has voluntarily surrendered at the Nanganj police station in Ghazipur district UP and is currently in the safe custody of the UP police. Necessary legal protocols are being followed for her transit and formal statement.
Motive of the murder is allegedly an extramarital affair.
We connected the dots. Preliminary investigation will indicate that that's how this whole motive and crime was unearthed. Because when we actually had connected the dots, it was actually Raj Kushwaha with Sonam. So when they come here, that will be confirmed. At this juncture, I will not be able to say what exactly is the motive, but it indicates towards that.
A girl who the family had accepted as their daughter is now their son's murder suspect.
टिकट बुक सोनम ने करवाई थी शिलोंग की, और वापसी का टिकट नहीं करवाया।
वापसी का टिकट नहीं करवाया सोनम ने। तो वापसी का क्यों नहीं करवाया? तो मैंने राजा से यही बोला, बेटा वापसी का टिकट क्यों नहीं है? तो बोले मम्मी उधर क्या पता क्यों नहीं है। तो मैंने उनकी मम्मी से बोला, तो उनकी मम्मी ने क्या बोला कि वो इधर से घूमते घूमते आएंगे।
Sonam's family say they had no clue.
ऐसी कोई बात नहीं हुई है, हमें ऐसी कोई बात नहीं, सिर्फ उसका फोन आया, हम भावुक हो गए, हमने पुलिस थाने में कंप्लेन करा और उसको रिसीव करवाने की कोशिश की। नहीं, हमने पूछ ही नहीं पाए हम उनसे।
Her brother admits she called him and that is when he informed the police.
मैंने 2-4 बार इसको देखा है यहाँ पे, सिर्फ नौकर था और जो भी करता था उसके गोडाउन पे काम करता था। दूसरी बात, जिस वक्त डेड बॉडी आई थी राजा की शिलोंग से, उस 3-4 गाड़ी की व्यवस्था करी थी, तो मैं उसी की गाड़ी में बैठा था जिसको राज चला रहा था। वो लेके यहाँ से गाड़ी वो लेके गया था राजा रघुवंशी के, नहीं रघुवंशी के घर तक। ऐसा लगा ही नहीं मुझे कुछ कि ये कुछ करके आया है।
Her neighbor shares how the murder accused Sonam's alleged boyfriend had no remorse. He attended the funeral of Raja. The honeymoon to murder story brings back the memory of Meerut murder, when a merchant navy officer Saurav was killed by his wife Muskan and his body disposed of in a cement drum. Men murdered, men forced to take their own lives, and men abused by their wives. Not one isolated incident, but series of incidents raising questions. Is the law inherently against men? What is the law for men's protection from heinous crimes?
I am first joined by Vipin Raghuvanshi, who's Raja Raghuvanshi's elder brother, उनके बड़े भाई। विपिन जी, मैं अर्नब गोस्वामी बोल रहा हूँ, आपको मेरी आवाज़ आ रही है?
हाँ सर, आ रही आवाज़।
विपिन जी, राजा आपके छोटे भाई हैं?
हाँ सर।
तो ये जब शादी हुई थी तो कुछ भी सस्पिशन था आपको, या उसके बाद या पिछले कई दिनों में जब राजा का शव मिला नहीं था, क्या आपको कभी लगा कि ये मर्डर सोनम ने किया है या कर सकती है?
सर देखिए, जहाँ तक अपने मेरा ध्यान है तो शादी दोनों की मर्जी से हुई थी और दोनों एक दूसरे को पसंद करते उस टाइम पे थे। अब सोनम पसंद कितना करती कितना नहीं करती सोनम के मन में, सोनम को पता था वाली बात। तो बाकी राजा उसको दिल से पसंद करता था और ये चीज़ें इस हिसाब से हम लोगों ने इसकी शादी कराई गई थी और दोनों परिवार इसमें खुश था। बाकी सोनम के हिसाब से जो है, सोनम ने आगे क्या रचना रची थी इस जगह पे आगे मारने के हिसाब से, ये चीज़ हमको नहीं पता थी इस बारे में। बाकी इसमें एक खुलासा और एक ये भी था, तो जो राज है, राज इसका हमने जो इनकी कंपनी का एम्प्लॉय था जो कि नाम तो सुना था राज का, राज करके राज काम कर रहा है। तो इस हिसाब से जो अभी आज खुलासा हुआ है, इसमें एक गुत्ते से सुलझ गई है, तो पूरी प्लानिंग जो है सोनम द्वारा की गई इसके अंदर।
नहीं, ये जब मैं पूछ रहा था कि कभी आपको कोई शक हुआ सोनम के रोल को लेके?
ये सर मुझे शक पहले नहीं था कभी इसमें।
उनकी फैमिली से बात हुई थी क्या? उनके फैमिली को पता था कि सोनम जिंदा है? सोनम से कुछ बात हुई थी? सोनम जी के फैमिली की कोई बात हुई है सोनम की?
नहीं सर, उनके फैमिली को इस बारे में कहीं पता नहीं था। कि पता होता कभी तो गोविंद वहाँ पे इतने दिन रुकता नहीं। पहली चीज़ तो ये थी कि गोविंद और मेरे साथ में वहाँ पे इतने दिन रहा था, उनको पता होता कभी तो सोनम वहाँ पे जिंदा है और राजा मर चुका। तो जिस दिन राजा की डेड बॉडी लेके आया था मैं, उसी दिन गोविंद साथ में आया था।
तो ये सोनम अपने फैमिली के साथ में भी टच में नहीं थी सोनम?
हाँ, सोनम उसकी फैमिली के टच में नहीं थी, ना हमारे टच में थी वो। बाकी अभी जो खुलासा हुआ है इसमें सोनम अपने आरोपी बनी हुई है और इसमें मास्टरमाइंड जहाँ तक अपने मेघालय पुलिस कह रही है, इसमें मास्टरमाइंड जो है सोनम ही है। तो इसमें कोई संदेह नहीं है, क्योंकि जिस प्रकार से सोनम की हालत दिखी है अभी हाल, उस प्रकार से 17 दिन काटने के बाद भी सोनम के शरीर पे कोई दाग नहीं है, ना कोई चोट के निशान है। मतलब इसका कहना मतलब एक ही निकलता है, तो सोनम जो है, सोनम ने ही सारा चीज़ करवाई गई है।
तो ये शादी के पहले ये अरेंज्ड मैरिज थी? ये अरेंज्ड मैरिज है?
नहीं, ये सर अपने अरेंज मैरिज है और दोनों की पसंद से, दोनों परिवार के मिलने के बाद में अरेंज मैरिज की गई इन लोगों की।
क्या कोई भी ऑपोजिशन था सोनम को इस शादी से? कुछ उन्होंने कहा कि मुझे शादी नहीं करनी, या उन्हें फोर्स करके करवाया गया था? क्योंकि अभी बात निकल रही है कि उनका रिश्ता था ये राज के साथ।
सर ये बातें हमको अभी तक किसी बारे में पता नहीं थी इस बारे में। तो राजा और इन दोनों का अफेयर चल रहा है। बाकी दोनों के बीच में ऐसी कभी हम लोगों ने सुनी नहीं थी बातें। तो राज और जो सोनम जो इसमें इन्वॉल्व है। बाकी अभी जैसे कि राज के जो बात आ रही है इसके अंदर, इसमें सोनम का जो था, सोनम राजा का, इस दोनों के रिश्ते में कभी हमको सर लगा नहीं, डाउट नहीं लगा है। तो राजा दुखी था कहीं पे, क्योंकि सोनम ने जिस प्रकार से अभी शरीर रचा है, उस प्रकार से सोनम के हिसाब से हम जो देख रहे हैं अभी हाल है, तो सोनम ने या तो राजा को गुमराह कर रखा पूरा, कि राजा जिस टाइम पे अपने घर के काम करता था, कि जाता था ऑफिस के बाहर, तो उस टाइम पे या तो सोनम बात करती हुई रात से होगी, और हमको लगता था वो ऑफिस के काम की बात कर रही है। हमें क्या पता चला उस टाइम पे तो सोनम किससे बात कर रही है।
और ये शादी के वीडियोस है जो हम प्ले कर रहे हैं, उसमें तो सब कुछ नॉर्मल लग रहा है। ये शादी के वीडियोस जो हैं,
हाँ
उसमें तो सोनम काफ़ी खुश लग रही है, इन्वॉल्व है, डांस कर रही हैं। क्या व्यवहार में कोई चेंज था उनके शिलोंग जाने से पहले या मेघालय जाने से पहले? कोई व्यवहार में आपने चेंज देखा? परिवार ने कोई देखा कि उनकी कोई मतलब बिहेवियरल कोई चेंजेस आपने नोटिस किए?
इसमें सर जैसे कि सोनम जो है, सोनम अपने यहाँ पे करीब अपने यहाँ पे 4 दिन रही है। इसमें 14 तारीख के दिन, 14 मई को ये लोग शादी में गए थे उज्जैन। उस टाइम पे राजा ने मुझे कहा था, बोले भैया ना सोनम जो है, सोनम में से अलग हट के उसके परिवार के साथ में बातचीत कर रही है। तो राजा को उस टाइम अच्छा नहीं लगा था। और परिवार से बातचीत कर रही है कि किस बात कर रही है ये हमको नहीं कंफर्म पूरा है। बाकी राजा ने उस टाइम जरूर कहा था, बोले भैया ये में से हट के जो है बात करे आगे, तो मुझे अच्छा नहीं लगा। बोले
कोई शक था जब ये फ़ोन कॉन्वर्जेशन राजा ने जब बात की आपकी माँ से या फिर फैमिली मेम्बर्स से मेघालय से, कोई उनके कोई टोन में बात करने के तरीके से कुछ शक हुई आपको कि कुछ गलत चल रहा है, कोई प्रॉब्लम है?
सर फ़ोन पे जब बात हुई थी मम्मी की, जब ऐसा कुछ लगा नहीं था हमारे को, तो ऐसा कुछ हो सकता है, इतना बड़ा हादसा हो सकता है इस बारे में, क्योंकि हमको तो इतना ध्यान था इसमें। तो सोनम जो है, सोनम और राजा दोनों हनीमून के लिए गए कभी है, तो इन दोनों के पीछे इन दोनों की दुश्मनी कहीं है नहीं, तो ऐसा क्या होगा। तो इसलिए हम लोगों ने इस पर ज़्यादा शक नहीं करा, हम लोगों ने किसी बात पे भी इस जगह पे, और हमको ऐसा लगा भी नहीं। तो दोनों की बातों में कुछ चेंजेस आया है। जो सोनम ने इतनी सफाई से बताया गया था, तो मम्मी हम लोग जो है ऊपर चढ़ रहे हैं और मैंने अभी कॉफ़ी पी है, जिसमें 1 गिलास दूध 2 गिलास पानी, इस प्रकार की कॉफ़ी, तो मैंने कॉफ़ी फेंक दी है। तो हमको तो ये लगा था सोनम जो राजा जो है, ये दोनों जने ने कॉफ़ी पी है और आगे किसी ने या तो इनको अगवा करा है या किसी ने इनको किडनैप करके ले गए होंगे, या राजा को किसी ने मारा है। हमको शुरू से ये लग रहा था, बाकी ये नहीं पता था इस पर मास्टरमाइंड जो है सोनम ही है।
जी विपिन जी, आपने हमसे इस बहुत मतलब इस समय भी आपने समय निकालकर हमसे बात की, तो बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद विपिन जी, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
ठीक सर,
थैंक यू सर विपिन।
थैंक यू सर।
I am joined now by Mr. Tin Song, who is the Deputy Chief Minister of Meghalaya and also the Home Minister. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us.
Yes, good evening. Good evening, Arnab.
Sir. I began by saying that I think that we should stop calling it a Meghalaya murder mystery, because it's given this whole social media campaign and the speculation has unfortunately, there's been an attempt to tarnish the image of Meghalaya and Meghalaya tourism. So first of all, I think everyone, we all owe, all of us owe an apology to the people of Meghalaya, the beautiful state of Meghalaya. Sir, how do you view this, what has finally come out? You must have been under intense pressure over the last week.
Absolutely, Arnab. Thank you so much for inviting me to join this platform through your channel. Arnab, in fact, these last few weeks, the whole Meghalaya was shaken, was shocked, and till today, after reaching to the stage of the conclusion, we were really shocked. And the modus operandi that has happened, the way the planner, the made for this killing, I think it reminds all of us to the Bollywood or Hollywood films.
Yeah.
And point number 2, people of Meghalaya never experienced or never seen such unfortunate incident till today.
Yep.
Enough. Thirdly, people of Meghalaya still are at shock, because these few days back, lot of narrative has been created in different platforms, be it in the social media, be it in the YouTube, or be it in the well-established news houses. And it really hurts us, it really pains us. But today, as we stand today, as we are on this moment, I'm happy to inform you that ultimately the truth has come out and the truth prevails for not only for Meghalaya alone, but also for this fashion of incident that has happened and keep happening throughout India. So therefore, of course, from the government side and from the people of the state of Meghalaya, we convey our condolences to the family members, the bereaved family of late Sri Raja. Right from day one till today, we convey our condolences and we hope God will ultimately solace their comfort for all of them.
Thank you, sir. Also, as Home Minister, you must have found all the details of the police investigation. This killer here, Sonam, she quickly made an exit. So, have you found out how all these, her and her accomplices left Meghalaya, how quickly they left Meghalaya after the murder?
Yes, as per the investigation, as per the homework done by the Meghalaya State Police, we found out that on the 23rd itself, the moment the operation was completed, she went back she left Meghalaya, she left Sora, and she left Shillong the same day itself. And on the 24th again, it seems she traveled by train to different destination altogether. And it was so fortunate that after the detailed homework done by the Meghalaya police, and with the help of the counterpart police from UP as well as from Madhya Pradesh, we were able to arrest all the 4 main accused in this killing. And today morning, we were ultimately confirmed the confession made by the accused 1, 2, 3, and 4 that Sonam was the main accused in the incident that has taken place on the 23rd of last month.
Right. Mr. Chinsong, I thank you very much. And I want to say this, that Meghalaya is one of the most beautiful places in the country. I've spent my years in school there. I was a student at St. Edmunds. The Northeast is one of the most tourist welcoming places for tourism in India. And these wrong assumptions one should not make. But I thank you for a quick investigation. You've done a great job, sir. And, we hope that Meghalaya tourism will not be affected at all.
Thank you so much, Anna.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Arnab. Thank you so much. Thank you.
My pleasure, sir. Thank you. I'm now lastly joined by Amitabh Yash, who's Additional Director General Law and Order in Uttar Pradesh. Now, they've done a great job tracking this down. Mr. Yash, what can you tell us about the mindset and mentality and planning that the prime accused Sonam did, which led to the murder? What have we been able to find so far?
Thank you, Arnabji. UP police has not been associated with the investigation so far. Our role was limited to taking the guidance from MP police, and we tracked down the lady who wanted to present herself to the police, it seems.
You say she wanted to present herself to the police? She wanted to surrender?
Yes. It seems that she was eager that the police finds her, and that is why she made a call to her kith and kin in Madhya Pradesh. The Madhya Pradesh police informed UP police about her whereabouts, and then necessary formalities were done.
She wanted to surrender. So, what was going on in her mind? Did she feel she can't run anymore?
It is not exactly that she wanted to surrender. She wanted to present herself as a victim of the crime. So the way she was trying to act initially was that she was trying to tell the police that she is a victim of the crime herself, and she was brought here in intoxicated state, or that she was drugged. So a medical examination was done. No was found with her medically, and the Meghalaya police has done a great job investigating.
So she wanted to present herself as a victim of whom? Yes. What was the story she was making up?
The story she wanted to tell the police was that she has been drugged and brought here.
From Meghalaya to Ghazipur?
Yes.
By whom? Did she say by whom?
No, she didn't take any names, and we did not interrogate her because we are not the investigators of the case. But it is very apparent from this entire story that she tried to cook up that she is extremely ruthless, and two, that she is a very poor planner of crime. I mean, this is the way novices commit crime. She left a trail of evidences, which of course the Meghalaya police very intelligently picked up and managed to uncover the entire story. I hope justice will be done soon in this case.
Well, it's remarkable. I mean, Mr. Yash, that she thought so far to present herself as a victim, which also makes one think that, a woman who is a perpetrator can project herself as a victim, that she had the temerity to do that, which means she's an educated person. She's planned it out. She had planned her next steps.
Yes, it's true that she planned her next steps, but of course, her understanding of the police working was extremely poor, and she thought that she would be able to get away from this.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Yash. Thank you for throwing light on this. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much
for joining us on Republic. I'm joined by Deepika. Thank you, sir. Deepika Narayan Bhardwaj is a well-known men's rights activist. Advocate Prashant Mendirata is also a very well-known matrimonial lawyer, fought many cases on men's rights and husbands' rights. Yogita Bhayana is a well-known social activist and fights for the rights of women. And Aniket Ujwal Nikam is a well-known criminal lawyer from Mumbai who says the law is not against men. I want to open this up first with a debate between Deepika and Yogita. Deepika, before I come to you, Yogita, will people now begin to acknowledge the level of misuse of the laws against men? See, it's not only that a man has to be murdered, but men are tortured, men are subject to cruelty, men are subject to false accusations, social stigma, legal harassment. Men, as a result of this, increasingly there have been cases of men who have been forced to commit suicide. There are innumerable hundreds and thousands of false cases put against men. Dowry harassment. 498 is terrible, along with 85 and 86 of the BNS, totally abused by women and their families. Right? You can't put my point is, we can't put a wrap on this anymore. We can't put a cover on this anymore. This has become very frequent and too many cases have come up in the media. Your thoughts on this and this case?
You're absolutely right, Arnab. Too many cases have come up. And this is a trend which is picking up. Unfortunate. If you read the cases, and you read it initially when you started your debate, you were reading about the cases, of late where women have been, the criminals. But, you could read few cases and then you had to put a stop to it. When other way around, if I give you the list of the cases where women are being harassed and tortured, they're endless. You can go on and on for nights and nights and nights. You will not be able to finish that list. So I'm not justifying the crime. I'm just simply saying any law which is made in the country is based on the assessment. Where is the percentage? Any law for that matter. So that's the reason we are on the weaker side. Wherever there is a victim, we always take the side of the victim, whether it's a man or a woman. It is gender neutral approach because we fight for human rights. It's not only that even if women is wrong, like we will be going against all odds and trying to protect her. It's simply what I'm trying to say is that the trend is that media is picking up those cases where women are involved. So that's a very dangerous trend. And honestly, if you read, 90% of the crimes are done by the other gender, which is men. And you can go through all the jails in the country. You will see what is the percentage of men are prisoners and not accused. They are, they have been charged. So they are spending their life there because they have committed the crime. They are proven to be victims.
People should not talk about
I'm just simply saying that
Yogita, I just don't want both to speak together. Yogita, Deepika, just wait a minute. Deepika, just wait a minute.
I can give you the list. I can give you can really go on for years and you can
So Yogita, I began with you and your view is that there are many more cases against women than there are against men.
Absolutely.
One.
There is no comparison.
Two, you are blaming the media for bringing an intense focus on crimes against men. You are accusing the media of being anti-women in the process of doing so.
Absolutely.
That's your assumption.
This is a trend.
Now, I ask you this. I'm sorry to be a little hypothetical about it. But imagine, just 1 minute. Just one minute. We have also got to think here about whether there is a preconceived notion, Yogita, in our society, that a man is a perpetrator and the consequences of that notion. For example, Yogita, let me please complete. And I want to go to Deepika after this. Suppose Sonam Raghuvanshi and Raja Raghuvanshi had gone to Meghalaya and Sonam Raghuvanshi's body would have been found. then the whole country would have said that Raja Raghuvanshi is the likely killer. Today, everybody is shocked when Sonam Raghuvanshi ends up as the killer. But for the last few days, nobody said publicly or even suggested that Sonam has carried out the killing, which means we have a preconceived notion that a man is always a perpetrator and never a victim. And a woman can never be a perpetrator. A woman can never be a perpetrator is where we start from. Let me get Deepika on this. Yogita, let me get Deepika on this so we balance the debate. Deepika.
While we are talking right now, Arnab, there's another husband murder reported from Hapur. This man has been murdered by his wife in conspiracy with her lover. He had got her husband beaten up. He had a fracture in his leg 3 months back. पहले उसकी टांग तुड़वाई, पुलिस ने कुछ नहीं किया. Now he is murdered. All right. And if Yogita is bothered about the number of cases, we have hundreds of case studies that we can share with her. But the whole point is that, minimalizing
cases every single day. 10 cases done up with a lot of responsibility. Check my helpline number.
Yogita, you have to listen to Deepika's point of view, please, because 2 audio tracks is disturbing. I can't hear 2.
Women are becoming absolutely shameless in committing the crimes, and please stop infantilizing them. These are men who are being chopped into pieces. These are men being chopped into pieces, Yogita. You talk about rape cases. I adore your work for rape victims. But there are thousands of men who are being falsely accused of rape, lost in jail for months and months, and they're not getting heard. I am sorry, but please stop pitching men versus women. Women can also commit crimes that are as shrewd, as absolutely ruthless as men. If we are talking about equality, please stop giving the numbers.
That's exactly I'm saying. That's the reason I'm saying if you're talking about equality, take crime as a crime. Don't take it as a gender. You can't be saying that how dare she did it. Anyhow, a mastermind was this other man who actually planned to kill and use this woman. Anyhow, she definitely plotted it, but with the help of the gunners, the shooters were all men. They were all men.
Can I hear the other side? That is, Deepika, please louder. If you don't mind adjusting the audio in the studio, PCR. I can't hear Deepika. Let's be fair.
What I'm saying is, I think feminists, women's rights activists need to wake up, open their eyes to women committing the most brutal murders, misusing the laws left, right and center, exploiting the provisions that have been made for genuine victims. And I'm really, really thankful that finally media has started talking about these cases. I see the frustration of women's rights activists when media is talking about murders of men.
May I just come in for a minute? I say one thing here. Yogita, please, can I come in for a minute? Yogita, please hear me. Please do not speak over me, because Deepika did not speak over you. There's a bad bandwidth on your link. Then if you speak, then the voice gets jumbled. I'm only asking you to be considerate to that. What I'm shocked by in this case, Aniket, and I want to bring in the 2 lawyers now, that's Aniket Ujwal Nigam and Prashant Mendirata on 2 sides, 2 great lawyers. Now, what I'm concerned about here is that this is A, so-called arranged marriage. B, she's not been forced into it. C, she wanted the jewelry, she wanted the diamonds, she wanted the gold. She made him wear all this, Prashant, when he left for the honeymoon, right? You don't go around wearing 10, 20 lakh rupees of jewelry and diamonds when you go there. You put it in a locker. But you're taking it, which means she wanted to kill him and take his stuff. And my bigger concern is, in her initial remarks, Yogita is still portraying Sonam as a victim by saying that she's not really done it. There are 4 men and she's only being used. No. She's laid the trap. She's done it. She has used those contract killers to kill her husband. But the fact, Prashant, that even now there is an attempt to build a sympathy around this woman, Sonam, is horrifying. Prashant, how do you view this? And then I'll get a counter view from Aniket. Prashant.
It is such a wake-up call for everyone. We have to realize that women too are capable of planning a cold-blooded murder. Here is a case. They were last seen together on 23rd of May. His body was recovered on 2nd of June.
Yeah.
Till 8th of June, she was not to be found anywhere. And today, all of a sudden, on 8th of June, she has resurfaced and is now saying that she wanted to surrender, which is really sad state of affairs. And now she made a statement to the dhaba owner, where she was found, that my husband died while trying to save me, which is really unfortunate that you do not say a word about what happened in these last 6 days. There was obviously a way that she wanted to cover up. She could not. The law will catch up with her now. Now, the interesting part is with regard to the laws. Yes, the laws of 498A, 406, dowry and criminal breach of trust were misused. Then, basically, 377, unnatural sex was misused by wives. Now, interestingly, POXO is being misused by women. Rape laws are being misused by women. Nobody seems to be, thinking and trying to take a positive step. The courts have to now sensitize that men could be speaking truth too, that they have to hear the men as well. Now, I'll give you an example. Every time two vehicles meet with an accident, our Indian mentality is that the bigger vehicle wala ka uski galti hogi. Same is the case here. When we come to dowry cases, when we come to matrimonial cases, it must be the husband and his family who would be wrong. Here is a case where I'm sure this person, Raja Kushwaha, with whom she is supposed to be having an affair, was allegedly working in her organization. She was doing brother's organization, some plywood work. He was working for the brother of Sonam. And they had an affair. If the family knew about it, and still they got Raja Kushwaha married, Raja Raghuvanshi married, it is absolute fraud being played on men. The families should own up. Don't get those women married who don't want to. Please don't force them. So here is a case. The men need protection now. And maybe uniform civil code would be an answer. Maybe a prenuptial agreement would be an answer. But something needs to be done now. How many more men are we going to lose before the parliament gets up and takes notice? Or are we going to rely upon Supreme Court every time? I mean, it was Arnesh Kumar's judgment which saved so many families now from 498 to 406. Are we going to bank upon every time to Supreme Court? What is our parliament doing? Somebody has to amend the law somewhere.
Which means,
otherwise we'll have many more suicides. We'll have many more deaths.
Which means, Prashant, I'm just thinking of this complex case because I was talking to the Additional Director General of Uttar Pradesh, Amitabh Yash, some time back. And then he said, Aniket, he said to me, we can keep with the screen on, no problem. He said that when she was caught in Ghazipur, she was pretending that she had been drugged and she had been brought and she didn't know anything. She was portraying herself as a victim, which means she is knowingly continuing to play the victim card. After having killed a man who is her husband, she wants to blame 4 other men for killing him. And all she wants to do, this is all acting. You look at her, she's trying to pretend. You see that video there, Aniket? She's pretending she is drugged. She's not aware of her surroundings. She's still play acting, which means she's read the media. She knows she can't get away. She doesn't know her next move. She thinks her best move is to play the victim all over again. And if she plays the victim, then others, I'm not saying anything, but that Yogita kind of argument that a woman is being used by 4 men. The man is jealous of another man who's married his girlfriend or his lover, and therefore that man has got together with 3 other men to kill another man, and the woman is a victim all the way. This argument being presented is so easy to play that conniving number in court. Aniket, this is very dangerous. I agree with Prashant, this should be a big wake-up call.
Arnab, 2 things. In our country, murder is a murder irrespective of the gender of the offender. The murder laws are gender neutral, so are the suicide laws. So whoever it is, whether it is a male, female or a transgender, if they have committed an offence of murder or if they have driven anybody to commit suicide, they would be charged for the offence of abetment of suicide or for the charge of murder. Now in this case, it seems Raja Raghuvanshi has been done to death in a very deserted manner. And it seems the wife is involved in it. She had engaged 4 other people to do it. Now the investigation would reveal what was the larger conspiracy, who all are involved, and they would be booked accordingly. So the murder offence, I wouldn't take this as an argument that murder offences are gender biased in our country. On the contrary, murder offences or offences like suicide are completely gender neutral. They do not depend upon the gender of the offender. That's one thing. Secondly, as far as the laws, the Sexual Offences Acts are concerned, which are slightly, I would say, biased towards the female gender. The reason being that the history that our nation has seen, the Constitution itself provides under Article 15(3) that the state can make laws for the welfare of children and women. Now, the reason for having certain laws which favor women is because every day almost 85 rape cases get reported in our country. There are so many other rape cases that do not get reported because of the barriers of the society, because of the shame and stigma attached to it. And therefore, certain laws are the ones which favor the woman. But at the same time, under the new BNS Act, there has been a provision introduced for the first time that if somebody falsely implicates anyone, for example, one of the learned speakers said that laws are being misused and false cases are being filed. If somebody falsely implicates somebody, the maximum punishment in such a case would be of 10 years. Now, it is the job of the police to investigate an offence and to see whether it is a case of false implication or not. But saying that there have been instances of false implication and therefore completely the law needs to be redone or revisited is something that I wouldn't really approve, because such kind of petitions were even filed in the Honorable Supreme Court, and Supreme Court said this is the job of the Parliament, and Parliament enacts the law depending upon
that's
the
all technical, Aniket. Aniket, that's all technical. When you see the Meerut cement murder, a woman, when you, 1 minute, Aniket, technically you are right, but you are not. No, 1 minute, Aniket, see, what is happening in India today, and I'll open the lines. I want Deepika to come in on to respond to you, and Prashant also. What is happening in India today? You are seeing all these cases being reported. I can equally argue that maybe men have been tortured, killed, or driven to suicide for a very long time. It's only now that because of the media, the story is coming up. Otherwise, this would be reduced to a single column, 50-word article on page 11 of a newspaper. It's just getting prominence now.
Arnab, because of the frequency of these cases.
Okay, Deepika, we'll have two answers.
I'm not saying that if a man is driven to suicide, the woman cannot be charged for the offence of abetment.
No. What I'm saying is,
if a woman is involved in committing murder of a man, she can be charged for murder.
Are you saying?
Aniket, nobody said that abetment to suicide or murder are gender biased. No, these are gender neutral provisions. We all know that as students of law. Nobody is asking these provisions to be done away with. Nobody is asking for that. But what happened with 498A? Supreme Court had to come in and pass guidelines so that people are not indiscriminately arrested.
Okay, Yogita, one minute. We'll have to adjust the audio better on this. Can I not request you to speak over each other?
Question to Aniket. Aniket, how many women do you know who have been punished for filing a false 498A? Tell me, please, in the last 30 years, how many women do you know of? I know of a lot of rapists who have been
I am not carrying any statistical book with me to tell you how many cases are being filed or how many have been convicted. However, there is a law that we have today which says, if you read section 248 of the new BNS Act, it itself provides that if somebody
can I have the audio better on one side? Cannot speak over each other.
There are provisions for protection of crimes of women also. Has the crime stopped? No, it hasn't. There are criminals who commit these crimes. But यहाँ पे जो women file करती है false cases,
aggrieved can always resort to these provisions. But to say that because there have been instances where a man has been ill-treated.
Prashant on the left. Prashant.
I went to Supreme Court recently. A retired captain of the Indian Army.
The misuse of the laws is so apparent, and the retort was that contempt or the perjury cases, or that yes, we can get them punished for false cases, which has not been happening. In fact, we've had cases here in Delhi where we found the women lying on oath. We have got the orders of perjury, but still the courts tell us, let it be. Why do you want to get her punished? Till the time women are not punished for filing false cases, this bloodbath will not stop.
Should definitely punish
our perjury cases and contempt cases, they have to be strengthened. The women have to be punished for lying.
Yogita doesn't get justice. That's exactly we have been trying to reiterate again and again that we want people who are misusing, women who are misusing, men who are misusing, anybody for that matter.
We'll take a couple of callers because I've opened the lines now, ladies and gentlemen. We open the lines. Vichitra is calling from Gurugram. 2 quick callers tonight, please. Vichitra.
Hello.
Hi, Vichitra. What do you think?
Hi, Arnab. I'm a psychologist and a marriage counselor.
Yes.
And I'm glad that mainstream media has picked up this issue because it was really, really required.
Yes.
I'm not talking about these, huge cases where crimes happen. I'm talking about what men go through in their life on an everyday basis. And believe me, it is...
My maid...
Yogita, please let Vichitra speak. I need to hear Vichitra audio, please. Thank you. Yeah,
Yes.
go on.
So I'm talking about what men go through every day in their matrimonial homes. Because it's no longer a picnic for a man. It's really bad what men are going through. I've been counseling for more than, say, 25 years.
Yes.
And I've seen this change in society.
Yes,
and I'm glad you picked up this issue.
Yeah, I'll just get a couple of other views from Vellore. I'm joined by R. Sitapati. Mr. Sitapati, what do you think of this case and the issues it raises?
Sir, good evening, Mr. Arnab.
Good evening, sir.
Sir, this particular case is, Sonam is the culprit. There is no doubt about it. Because, see, nowadays the trend, generally whatever the woman, people think that woman is, weaker sex, because of which they are being forced by the men. That's what the society thinks. But that is not the right thing, like. It is a woman, in some cases, they are more dangerous than men. They do it up. They do plan.
I agree.
And the myth about it, and the older law and other things, also says only favoring the woman. But woman in practical life is not so. Because
I agree. Arun, I'll have to go to Arun from Hyderabad. Ms. Sitapati, let me get one more caller in from Hyderabad. Arun?
Hello, good evening, Arnab.
Good evening, Arun.
Always we need to take care of weaker sections in the society. In general, we make laws, but we should also take care that the misuse also should be rightly punished. Then only the law will get the value.
Yeah, that's what Aniket also said. The misuse is not adequately, punished. Deepika, I'll give you 5 seconds, please, because...
Yes, Arnab, let's remember that Atul Subhash's wife was given bail within 9 days. Let's remember that the Supreme Court of India, when we went asking for a men's commission to protect men also, they said, who are you asking the commission for? Men who will commit suicide in future? Let us also remember that no action at the policy level or lawmakers level was taken after
I think the laws need to move with the times, and if the media,
against the judge.
No, the law needs to move with the times, and these are not just individual cases being reported in the media. It's unfortunately become a recurring pattern in this country. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank all our panelists there, and when I come back at 9 o'clock. We are beginning the countdown for a huge leap as a group captain. Shubhangshu Shukla will take off for the International Space Station that was scheduled for tomorrow. It's now day after. The implications, the importance and the relevance of that for all of us when I'm back.
Time for a quick breather.
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप